At 2:30 p.m. today, a U.S. Navy destroyer came closer to destruction than at any point in the last decade. No warning shots, no radio threats, no time to negotiate. Just 60 fast-moving objects suddenly appearing on radar and racing toward American sailors at full speed. What made this moment truly terrifying wasn't the number of attackers. It was the fact that there were no people on board them at all. No pilots, no crews, no hesitation. Only artificial intelligence, explosives, and one mission: sink the ship. In less than 10 minutes, the calm waters of the Yellow Sea turned into a real-world test of modern naval warfare. A test that military experts said would favor the attacker. Cheap weapons versus a billion-dollar warship. Numbers versus technology. Speed versus reaction time. If even one of those boats reached its target, hundreds of American lives would be lost, and the world would wake up to a new kind of war. But what happened next stunned not just North Korea. It stunned military planners around the world. Because the U.S. Navy didn't just survive the attack, they erased it. And what followed just minutes later sent a message to Pyongyang that no speech, sanction, or warning ever could. This isn't a simulation. This isn't a theory. This happened today. And just hours ago, something happened in the Yellow Sea that military planners have feared for years, but hoped would never actually occur. An event so fast, so calculated, and so close to catastrophe that by the time most people heard about it, it was already over. At 2:30 p.m. today, North Korea launched 60 explosive drone boats at a single U.S. Navy destroyer. This wasn't an exercise. This wasn't a warning. This was a real live attempt to sink an American warship in broad daylight. And what followed shocked Pyongyang. Yellow Sea, January 23rd, 2026, 2:30 p.m. local time. Clear skies, calm seas, visibility nearly perfect. The USS Chaffee, an Arleigh Burke class destroyer, was conducting routine freedom of navigation operations approximately 40 miles off the North Korean coast. International waters, legal transit, standard naval presence, 290 sailors on board, morning drills completed, afternoon watches underway, no heightened alert. No indication that this day would be different from any other patrol. Until the radar lit up. At exactly 2:30 p.m., a radar operator froze. Multiple surface contacts detected. A pause. Then urgency. Correction. 60 contacts. Speed 30 knots. Multiple bearings. Converging. The main display filled with red symbols. Too many. Too organized. Too fast. Commander Jessica Torres moved instantly to the screen. Distance? 12 nautical miles. Closing rapidly. Speed? Consistent 30 knots. Some accelerating. Torres studied the movement. Fishing boats don't maneuver like that. Smugglers don't attack from every direction. Patrol craft don't move in perfect formation. These aren't manned, she said. The tactical officer nodded. No random course corrections. No drift. This is an autonomous swarm. That word changed everything. A swarm meant artificial intelligence. It meant coordinated targeting. It meant explosives. And it meant North Korea wasn't bluffing. At 2:31 p.m., Torres issued orders. Sound General Quarters. Launch recon drone immediately. Notify 7th Fleet. I want air assets on alert now. Alarms echoed through the ship. Steel doors slammed shut. Sailors sprinted to stations. 90 seconds later, the Puma drone lifted off the deck. When the live feed appeared inside the Combat Information Center, the room went silent. 60 small white boats, roughly 20 feet long, no visible crews. And painted clearly on the bow of every single craft was the North Korean flag. They weren't hiding it. They wanted credit. Weapons zoomed in on the feed. Reinforced bow sections, the weapons officer said. Likely 300 pounds of explosives per boat. Torres did the math instantly. 18,000 pounds of explosives. One impact could cripple us, the tactical officer added. 5 would sink the ship. 60 meant total destruction. This is an assassination attempt, Torres said flatly. At 2:34 p.m., she made the call that would be replayed in every naval briefing for years to come. This is a hostile act. Weapons free. Engage all inbound surface threats. No contact reaches this ship. North Korea's attack had begun. The drone boats crossed 6 miles, then 5, then 4. Their movement wasn't chaotic. It was intelligent. Boats shifted positions in real time, responding instantly when one was destroyed. The swarm adjusted angles, spacing, and speed. The AI was learning. At 2:36 p.m., the USS Chaffee answered. The Mark 45, 5-inch naval gun rotated toward the lead elements. Boom. A drone boat vanished in fire. Boom. Another exploded, debris flying skyward. Boom. A third disappeared beneath a plume of smoke and water. Precision-guided ammunition, GPS corrected. Every shot lethal, but the radar told a harsher truth. 57 contacts remained. Gun system effective, the weapons officer reported. But we can't outpace the volume. Torres didn't hesitate. Activate close-in weapon system. The Goalkeeper CIWS roared to life. 4,000 rounds per minute. The sound tore through the air like ripping metal. The ocean in front of the destroyer turned violent. Drone boats shattered mid-run. Explosives detonated early. Shockwaves slammed into the hull. 20 destroyed, then 25, then 30. But still more kept coming. At 2:38 p.m., 30 drone boats remained. Range, 3 miles. The swarm adapted again. They spread wider. Increased speed. Approached from staggered angles. The AI was trying to overwhelm targeting systems. Torres made the next call. Missile engagement authorized. Fire on clusters. Rolling airframe missiles launched in rapid sequence. White streaks curved sharply downward. Explosions rippled across the surface. 10 boats disappeared, then 15, then 20. At 2:41 p.m., 15 drone boats remained. Distance, 2 miles. Time to impact, 4 minutes. Torres keyed her headset. Wolfpack 2-3, this is Chaffee Actual. Multiple hostile surface targets. Immediate air support required. The reply was instant. Chaffee Actual, Wolfpack 2-3 copies. 4 Super Hornets inbound. 3-minute ETA. 3 minutes. At 30 knots, the boats would reach the destroyer in just over 4. There was no room for error. At 2:42 p.m., the final wave surged. 12 boats, then 10. The 5-inch gun thundered again. Sieb's fire stitched the water. 8 left, then 7. 1 mile, 60 seconds. Every sailor on board felt it. The vibration, the pressure, the knowledge that one mistake would mean impact. At 2:44 p.m., the sky screamed. 4 FA. 18 Super Hornets tore into view at low altitude. Visual on targets. Engaging. Hellfire missiles dropped. 5 drone boats vanished in blinding fireballs. 2 remained. 500 yards. The Hornets strafed. 20-millimeter cannons hammered the surface. 1 boat disintegrated. 1 left, 200 yards. 10 seconds. The CI locked on. A solid stream of fire tore into the final craft. It detonated 50 yards off Chaffee's port side. The blast rocked the ship. Water surged over the deck. Sailors grabbed railings. Then silence. Radar screens cleared. 60 contacts, all destroyed. Total engagement time, 9 minutes. U.S. casualties, 0. Ship damage, minor. North Korea's attack had failed completely. But the consequences didn't stop there. In Pyongyang, Kim Jong-un was watching in real time. Telemetry feeds. Loss reports. Drone signals dropping one by one. The swarm collapsing. American defenses adapting faster than his AI ever could. By 2:50 p.m. today, the Pentagon initiated pre-approved response plans. At 3 p.m., B-1B Lancer bombers launched from Guam. At 3:15 p.m., the USS Chaffee fired Tomahawk cruise missiles. At 3:30 p.m., F-35 stealth fighters crossed into North Korean airspace undetected. Drone factories, launch sites, radar stations, command centers. One by one, they were struck. By evening, North Korea's coastal drone program was effectively neutralized. Billions lost. Critical facilities destroyed. All in response to an attack that caused zero damage. At 4:30 p.m., the White House issued a statement. Short, direct, unambiguous. North Korea attacked a U.S. Navy destroyer. The attack failed. The response was decisive. Further aggression will be met with overwhelming force. China urged restraint, which translated to one thing. Pyongyang was on its own. As of tonight, January 23, 2026, the USS Chaffee remains on patrol. The wreckage of 60 drone boats rests on the floor of the LOC, and North Korea has gone silent. Because some lessons don't need repetition. 60 boats. 9 minutes. Complete failure. The message has been delivered. The U.S. Navy is ready. Always watching. Always waiting.